What's going on, carnivores? Do you want to know how to make one of the tastiest beef carnivore snacks? Let's get into it. How to make biltong on a true carnivore diet. Before I was a carnivore, I used to chow down on the biltong, and I used to do it usually at a party setting, a gathering setting, and it used to also involve a lot of beer, a lot of potato chips. It was not the healthiest environment to eat meat in. It came with a lot of junk. However, now that I've transitioned over to a carnivore diet, I've been doing that for around 12 months now, biltong can actually become a healthy snack. Not just a snack you'll eat with the beers and the chips. And it becomes a truly healthy carnivore snack, beef and salt. Now, traditionally, biltong is made with a number of spices, generally salt, pepper, and coriander being the biggest ingredient in that. However, if you know about the carnivore diet, generally you want to stay away from plant products and especially seed products, because they are generally the most high in plant toxins. And so this recipe is going to be focused on just salt and just beef. As a side note, if you want to know the costs about making biltong, I've got a previous video which goes into a bit more detail of that, how you can make biltong nice and cheap, and it's going to save you a lot of money versus going out and buying this stuff from the shops. That video I'll link up here, and you can go and refer to that. Okay, step number 1. You want to go and source your meat. Obviously, try to source it from the best place you can. Go out to your farmers, your local meat suppliers. If you need to, go to your bulk meat suppliers and get that nice meat source, and as cheap as you can find it. Stay away from the grocery stores if you can. And the cuts you want to get are the silver side and the top side. They're generally the best for making biltong. Make sure the fat content is good and bring it home, and you've got your meat. Step number 2. Now you're going to prepare the meat. So this is quite easy. You want to lay out your top side or your silver side out on your bench. Okay, give it a clean up, maybe wipe down all the excess, moisture or anything off there, and get a nice long sharp knife, because you're going to be cutting this meat in long strips. And so what you want to do is line it up on the board, and you're going to cut the meat in strips with the grain of the meat, and cut it about 1 inch thick. All right, once you've cut your meat, then you're going to get a container. You can either fill that up with vinegar and douse it, rinse it, or you can get a spray bottle and spray your meat over with vinegar. The purpose of the vinegar is you use that to remove any bacteria or bugs you might have on the or germs. By that I mean you might have on the meat, and that's going to prevent any mold from forming during the drying phase. You can let it rest in the fridge for a couple of hours. On this example that I'll be showing you, I let it rest for about 3 or 4 hours in the fridge in the vinegar. However, you don't need that. If you're enjoying this video so far, please do me a quick favor and click like in the description. That's all I want you to do. Don't subscribe, don't do anything else. Just hit like, 1 click. All right, step number 3, we're going to salt the meat. All right, so this is usually where all the spices come in, the pepper and the coriander. We're removing all of that and just sticking purely with salt. Ideally, I recommend sourcing a Himalayan pink salt or something that's got a bit of minerals in it as well. And so I usually source the rock salt, Himalayan pink salt, and then I'd either grind it up in the Thermomix or crush it up in a mortar and pestle. Right, so lay the meat out on your cutting board and you're just going to give it a quick cover over with salt and rub it over so you get an even spread. Now, this is a very important part of the process. You don't want to put on too much salt, or obviously when you go to eat it, it's going to be very salty. However, if you put on too little salt, it's going to be a bit bland tasting, and it's not the same if you go and sprinkle biltong with salt after you've already made it. It just doesn't taste the same. So it might involve a bit of trial and error. In this example that you'll be seeing on the footage, I think I've overdone it a little bit. The thick pieces were actually really nice, but the thinner pieces were a little bit too salty. So it's going to take a bit of experience here, but get that salt content right. Step number 4. Hang and dry the meat. So once it's all salted up and ready to go, all you need to do is insert your hooks into the meat so you can hang it up on one end and hang it up in your biltong box, whether you've got a cheap plastic biltong box like me, like you'll see in the footage, or you want to go all out and get one of those fancy stainless steel all-inclusive biltong boxes. I'd love to get one, but at the moment I'm sticking with my cheap box. You want to lay them all out, okay, make sure they're not touching, and then go put the biltong box on, get that fan going, get the light going if you've got one, and go put it in a place that's not going to be disturbed and let it rest. Step number 5. Now you're going to take your meat after it's drying and you want to give it a test. So take your meat out and give it a chop up, give it a taste. This is the best part. Your meat's done and it's ready to enjoy. So I usually chop up a couple of pieces, have in a bowl, and then people can eat as they need. For the remainder of the pieces, I'm going to wrap up with some baking paper, baker's paper, that brown sort of stuff. That would be even better. But baker's paper works as well. Wrap up those leftover pieces and just keep them in the fridge for later. And that's it. Beautiful biltong to enjoy. And let's see what this one tasted like. Okay, here we are with the cut up biltong. And I've got to say, the thicker pieces here have come out really nice. Thinner pieces were a little bit salty, but these thicker ones, they've got a nice crust, nice sort of salty crust, and inside it's just beautiful meat with a nice bit of fat on the outside. Okay. Really good. Well, thanks for watching all the video, all my carnivore friends out there, and even if you're not carnivore and you're thinking about it, okay, this is just one of the other recipes that you can have to help get you through that adjustment period. If you liked this video and thought it was useful, please get on and like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're interested in any of the biltong boxes or biltong cutters, like the one I was using in the video, then I've got links for all that down in the description. Please support the channel and click on those links, and I'll see you in the next video. I think that's good.